What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today, we are, we are reviewing a movie my friend Mara recommended me, Warlock, which came out technically in some countries. It came out in 1989, but in the U.S. it was out in 1991. So I'm gonna just technically list it as a 91 film. And man, this is a pretty good film. Julian Sands as the Warlock is pretty fun. I mean, the premise is pretty much. So I'm not going to go too into this. The synopsis part of this video isn't going to be uber long because pretty much it's just him trying to take over the world. He's about to be executed. Redfern is almost like, I guess, in a way, like the Loomis kind of character who knows about the Warlock and is trying to stop him. He's about to be executed for Redfern's wife's death, and then Satan helps him basically time travel into the 20th century. So they have to basically go back and stop him from taking over the world in the modern time, which I like. I thought the character that helps him throughout is a character called Cassandra, who basically Warlock puts a hex on her and pretty much causes her to age until she dies, basically. And she has to get this bracelet back, which will stall the aging. It's that kind of thing. So they have to, and then Redfern, obviously goes ahead in time to try to stop him. And he has to get this thing called the memoir. I'll be honest. Grimoire? Something like that. I am probably butchering the name. But it is a well done film, and it's just kind of fun just watching Julian Sands just play this character. It is a little bit more of a character kind of film. It has fun little lore with it too, and I love the scenes where you just see every scene. Julian Sands just carries the scenery. It's not a body count type of film, like like there are kills, but it's not like it's not like a normal slasher. Like you're not getting like kills every couple of minutes, right? They build up to it, but I think it's well done. The lore makes up for it, and I think Julian Sands' performance makes up for it. But even Richard E. Grant as the main character, as the main guy, is pretty well done. And Cassandra, the love interest, is pretty well done in this too. And I love the scenes where he has to get adjusted to modern times. Like you have those kind of scenes, and yeah, then you have like basically Julian Sands just wreaking havoc, which is also well done. The final act's fun. They just beat him with like she uses insulin, which just stops him from, and they get the Grimoire back. And so yeah, but it's a well done film. I really like it. One of my favorite films for sure in horror. And apparently there's sequels. I will check those out. So maybe next week, maybe next Monday, fuck it, we'll do Warlock 2. I think it's called like Warlock something name, but I don't remember it, so I'm just gonna call it Warlock 2 for now. But apparently I think Julian Sands returns in that one. I don't know if he returns in the third one, but at least since he returns in the second one, I figure at least we'll review that. If it depends on how I feel about this one, if he's not in it, and if the third one's just really bad, just we'll see. But yeah. Anyway, I give this movie a 9 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a well done film. You don't have a lot of characters in the film, but it's a well done one. And yeah, I like the premise. Fucking Warlock that's just killing people. Why not? So. Tomorrow, I cannot wait to do Batman Returns. That's going to be probably a fun video to do tomorrow. Or no, not Batman Returns. Batman Forever. Batman Forever. I'm interested to see, because who knows, maybe it holds up better. I haven't seen it in years. I'm mixed, because there is some good in Batman Returns. I think, honestly, Val Kilmer is not a bad Batman, and I don't think he's a bad Bruce Wayne. I just don't like he's blonde, but it's just the Riddler. As much as I like Jim Carrey, he basically was just playing fucking uh, the Mask. I've always felt like he was just playing the Mask in that film, and obviously, I think Tommy Lee Jones could have been a good Two Face, but he wanted to match almost like Jim Carrey's fucking crazy, level of like the way he, his level of cheesy that it it didn't help. So, oh, like not cheesy, over the topness. I think he wanted to match being over the top with Carrey because he got in a little feud with him behind the scenes. He almost like tried to out over the top Jim Carrey, and it didn't help because that's not what Two Face should be. He's not an over the top character like that. So it just didn't help. So we'll see. Who knows? This film will probably age better, but I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. So, but yeah, let's get into this movie. So the movie starts in 1691 in Massachusetts. So like, which is pretty fun. I think they get a dude. I'll just say Richard E. Grant because I can't think of his character. I said it earlier, just and it just went blank. So he's executing the Warlock, including killing Richard E. Grant's wife. But Satan, to help him escape capture, sends him into the 20th century to escape, and Richard E. Grant has to follow him, and that's kind of the film. Really, it's basically a chase film where he has to stop the Warlock from taking over and getting certain parts for his plan to take over. It's a really this film has a little bit of lore to it, which I like. I love the scenes where just Julian Sands is just mind controlling people. The scene where he takes over this psychic to basically have her be Satan so she can explain, so he can get the plan. It's very well done. It's very much just it knows what it is, but it's not uber over the top either though. I think they actually take it seriously, which I do like. They play it straight. They're like, oh yeah, this movie's about a fucking time traveling fucking Warlock trying to take over the fucking Earth in the future. It knows what it is, but it also is not. It could be meta and make fun of itself, but it's like, no, we're gonna play it straight. We're gonna, this is what the plot is, and we're gonna play it straight, and I think that's what works. And the scenes where Richard E. Grant has to accommodate to like the future world is pretty fun. Like the scene where she has to get in the car, get in Cassandra's car because Warlock basically curses Cassandra basically that until she gets his bracelet back, she basically is aging rapidly. So I love that little touch to it. And it makes for fun use of practical effects. Like she looks older and older later in the longer the film goes, which is well done. And everything's explained too. It's not like, okay, but it's not also just dialogue dumped and exposition dumped like in a lot of movies either. It's like very much shown. They do show you too. So Julian Sands just does a great job in this film. That's what makes this film for me is just the way I love when a great actor just chews up scenery in a film and it's just so well done. And I think that's what this was. So I like the premise, and I'm a horror guy. So the fact that you can make a killer Warlock work in film is awesome, because it's something different. It's not, some guy in a mask. Because there's a little bit of like a fantasy element with like a Warlock, like there's like that fantasy element. So the fact that they were able to take something that's from fantasy and make it horror flat out, like, because this is in a way when he is killing people, it does have that slasher, like he's picking off victims kind of the aspect about it. But it's still they're able to mix that fantasy and element too, especially with Richard E. Grant's character. It very much when you're on him, it does feel like I'm watching just like a normal fantasy medieval film. But once that's it, and it's also kind of a time travel film a little bit until the end when he has to go back in his time. But yeah, it's a great film. So I'm gonna jump ahead to the final act where Cassandra gets kidnapped by Julian, by the Warlock, and basically demands Richard E. Grant to give him the Grimoire, which is this thing that can, I think it's like a book. I love that, like, they don't overly explain. Sometimes I don't need an overly explanation. It's just this thing that he needs to take over the world. That's clearly what it is. It's something he needs to help him take over the world, which I love. It's just a simple plot. So he kills a couple more people, and then he's about to say it. Cassandra injects him with some insulin, which causes him basically to explode. Obviously leaves it open for him to come back. Richard E. Grant goes back to his time, and I think she just kind of drives off in the distance. So it's a fun film, man. I really very much like it. I very much recommend it. I'm happy. Gotta thank Marv for recommending this, because now I'm gonna watch the second one, at least the second one. So yeah, this was great. I love a good mix of like horror and like fantasy, because it does play like a fantasy movie. It doesn't just feel like straight up a slasher, but it's a fantasy movie with a bit of a slasher element, because the Warlock is picking up a little bit of people, but he's also possessing them. He's also doing interesting things. He's not just straight up killing them, right? And Julian Sands is a great antagonist. Richard E. Grant was a good, like, he's like the Loomis kind of character. Like, he knows what the Warlock is and he wants to destroy him. I love characters like that. And I think it works. And it does play like a little bit more fantasy when he's on screen. So I think it's a great film. I think the chick who plays Cassandra is pretty good too. Like, and I love the practical work when you see her age throughout the film and stuff. I love the practical work in general, like in this film. So very much, like I said, an 8.5 out of 10. The score was pretty good too. Pretty good score. So yeah, I would watch this again. So hopefully 2's decent. So apparently I saw on Wikipedia though that 2 doesn't, it doesn't necessarily, it's one of those where they change the continuity, which is fine. If that's what if I know that going in, whatever. So anyways, guys, let me get ready to wrap it here. Batman Forever review tomorrow, which should be fun. And then obviously next week's gonna be Batman and Robin. I'm not necessarily dreading it. I have fun watching Batman and Robin. I didn't watch it that long ago. I watched it not that long ago with a group of friends, so fuck it. I could watch it again. Granted, I cannot wait to do Batman Begins though. That's gonna be fun to review. But I think Batman Day's on the 21st, so it's this week. So that's part of the reason why I decided to do this series, since we're getting close to Batman Day. So I was like, why not do Batman films? So tomorrow, Batman Forever. Wednesday, I was gonna do something else, but I think what I'm gonna do now, since I saw the Killers game recently, I saw it last night. Mini review. It's a fun little action film, man. Scott Adkins, Batiste, even Drew McIntyre, for the bit you see of him in the film, is really good. So I don't want to go too into it. Because I actually want to watch it again. So I plan on watching it again Wednesday. So what I'm going to do is we're going to watch it again Wednesday, and then I'm going to review that on Wednesday. I was going to review it later in the week, and Speak No Evil, I've been told about the movie. I don't think I'm going to watch it. Not like ever, but it's going to be one of those I'm not going to rush to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it when like a better cop, because I think there is a copy on the site, but I don't have an urge to watch it right now. Maybe when it's like on a streaming service or something, I'll check it out, but I don't know. I think for now, for new movies, well, I do want to review Killer's Game. That is pretty fun. I do want to review like something good. Like that was just a fun little action flick, man. Different assassins. It's that kind of film. That's all it is. So going to that on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm gonna do Tropic Thunder, and then Friday, I don't know yet. I think Friday it might be another wrestling one. I do want to do a rant about like going back to because SmackDown recently, their new theme is fucking Megan the Stallion, and I want to just go into that and just talk about like how the music is just kind of like in general, not just like the pay-per-view themes, even like not just Raw themes, like even like just this general theme songs for wrestlers has kind of gone down. So I want to talk about that. So I'll talk about maybe we'll talk about that on Friday. Because as far as this week goes, I don't plan on seeing anything. I don't want to see that shitty new Transformers animated movie. So pretty much, yeah. So, but Warlock was great. So Warlock 2, I'm just gonna call it for now. I'll be reviewing probably next Monday, same day. But yeah, thanks Mara for recommending this. Yeah, so tomorrow Batman Forever. But Saturday Pin Down Podcast. So anything else other than that, I'm gonna wrap it here. Other than that, guys, I will talk to y'all later.